Hi all, and happy Monday. Today was the first day of school for my boys. We do live in California, so they are distance learning for the time being. So I thought that I would make one of our favorite dinners for tonight. So tonight we are having chicken pot pie. So last night my husband barbecued some chicken for dinner and I had him make some extra. So 2 of these I'm going to use for our chicken pot pie tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to chop up 2 of these chicken breasts into bite-sized pieces. My husband did marinate these in the mesquite before he barbecued them, as I think that adds a lot of flavor to the chicken pot pie. Okay, so I ended up using 2.5 of the chicken breasts because 2 just didn't quite look like enough, so I went ahead and cut up another half of one. Okay, so I have a can of cream of mushroom and a can of cream of chicken. You can use either cream of mushroom or cream of chicken if you don't want to mix it, but I like them both together. You need about half a cup of milk. I have 2 cans of mixed vegetables. I like to use these ones because they have the potatoes in them. You do want to drain the juice out of them. Okay, and we're just going to mix it up. Okay, it's mixed, so we are going to get our pie crust ready. Okay, so I have a 2-quart round casserole dish. And I have my pie crust. So I'm just going to unroll it and put it in the bottom of my dish. Now you do want a deep baking dish because it does have a lot of filling. And we're just going to kind of stretch it out in the bottom of the bowl. And we're just going to dump our filling in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to put my other pie crust on the top. Just going to push it down a little bit so that both of the pie crusts touch each other. And then just going to squish the edges around. I'm just going to poke a couple holes on the top for venting. Okay, my oven is preheated at 400 degrees. I'm going to cook this for between 45 minutes to an hour. I forgot to mention that I always put it on a baking sheet because sometimes it likes to bubble over and drip, and I don't want the mess in the bottom of my oven. Okay, here is our chicken pot pie. It is all nice and golden brown. I ended up cooking it for 1 hour, and I'm going to cut it up and plate it. It is Wednesday night, and for dinner tonight we are having cheesy ham chowder. Last night we just had some chicken fried rice with some leftover chicken that I had, just easy. So tonight I have about 2.5 to 3 pounds of potatoes peeled and chopped in my crock pot. I'm going to use one of these ham steaks that I have in the freezer. So I just cut the ham up into bite-sized pieces. I'm going to add in 1 can of corn. I'm just going to add in some onion that I had in my freezer. I have 1 32-ounce box of chicken broth. some pepper. I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just going to give it a stir. I'm going to cook this on high for 6 hours. Okay, our chowder has cooked for 5.5 hours. So I just mixed up 2 cups of milk and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I'm just going to pour that in my soup. Just going to mix that around. And if you don't have cornstarch, you can just use flour. I'm going to put the lid back on this and it's going to cook for another 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to stir up our soup. It has cooked for another 20 minutes. Add in a cup of sour cream. So we need 2 cups of cheese. Okay, we're going to give that a stir and then we're going to let that all melt. Here is our cheesy ham chowder. I just balled it up and I buttered up some sourdough to go with it. It is Friday night and for dinner tonight we are having Hawaiian chicken tacos in the crock pot. Last night we just had our leftover cheesy ham potato chowder. So I have 3 chicken breasts in my crock pot. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of freshly chopped pineapple. I don't have fresh pineapple, so I'm just going to use a can of crushed pineapple. It's a 20-ounce can. The recipe doesn't say whether or not to use the juice. I'm going to put the juice in there anyway. I have a cup of red onion that I had in my freezer. And then some garlic powder. A spoon of chili powder. Okay, the recipe calls for a teaspoon of cumin, but I almost have a teaspoon worth, but it's all I have, so I'm just going to use what I got. A tablespoon of yellow mustard and a tablespoon of sriracha sauce and a 1/4 cup of water. I'm just going to give this a little stir. Okay, so the recipe says to cook this on high 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so our Hawaiian chicken tacos are almost done in the crock pot. So I am going to make our jalapeno ranch sauce to go on the top. So I do want to say that the chicken did call, and the recipe did call for jalapeno, but I did not put it in there because I know Owen will not eat that. So I am going to make it in the ranch because I know my husband and Keegan will eat that. We need a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. We like the olive oil mayonnaise. 1/4 cup of olive oil. 1/4 cup of water. Tablespoon of white vinegar. Garlic powder. Dill. Recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. I do not have fresh, so I'm just going to use dry. And pepper. Okay, I'm just going to put this in my NutriBullet and blend it up. So yes, I forgot the jalapeno, so let's cut that up. Okay, so you need 1 jalapeno. You can remove the seeds. Okay, I'm going to save the seeds so that I can plant them outside. Okay, now I have my jalapeno in there. Let's try it again. Here is our jalapeno ranch. Just going to pop it in the fridge so it will chill for a little bit. Here is our Hawaiian chicken all shredded up. We're going to put it in some tortillas with the cabbage. Okay, I have a bag of cabbage to put on our tacos. So I'm just going to drizzle some of the jalapeno ranch over the top of it. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, dear, what did you think of the Hawaiian chicken tacos?
I thought it was pretty good.
What about the jalapeno ranch?
It was okay.
Keegan, what did you think about dinner?
It was good the first half.
What was wrong with the second half?
Just too much jalapeno ranch.
That's it? Owen.
It was okay, but I didn't really like it.
Thank you, boys. Here are our little bell pepper seedlings that we are growing. We just have them in some soil and some mason jars. So we'll keep them in there for about 10 days or so, and then we will plant them outside. Here is our lettuce. Some of it's grown pretty good. I don't remember what kind it is. We've got 3 different kinds growing. There's that one. And then this one. These ones are starting to grow. Those ones are taking a little while. And then we got this one. I think that one is something Italian mix or something like that. I think that's the same one. Well, there is our lettuce. On this side, we planted some more of bell pepper seeds, but they are not sprouting yet. Let's go back in the house, it's hot. Here are the jalapeno seeds that I took out of the jalapeno pepper. I just laid them on a wet napkin. Okay, go ahead. Going to fold them up in there. And put them in a Ziploc baggie. And where are you going to put them?
In the garage, because they need to go into a warm place. And in about 10 to 14 days, we should have seedlings.